Chosen ones, your toxic family is your greatest catalyst. Here's why. Have you ever wondered why you, out of all the souls in existence, were born into your particular family? Why you, someone so different, so sensitive, so painfully aware, were placed in the middle of chaos, dysfunction, or neglect? I want you to sit with this question for a moment, because the answer is not random. It is precise, it is sacred, and it is brutal in its beauty. You did not incarnate by accident. We chose these environments, these families, these dynamics, before we even took our first earthly breath. We chose them because, on a soul level, we knew only through this fire could we be forged into the beings we are destined to become. You, the chosen one, were never meant to fit into your family. You were meant to stand out, to feel the friction, to experience the tension. Why? Because comfort never births greatness. Familiarity never awakens divinity. It is only through the unbearable discomfort of being unseen, misunderstood, and even betrayed by those who were supposed to love us most that we are forced to turn inward to find our true selves. You see, your toxic family isn't your curse, it is your catalyst. The very pain you endured was the mechanism that cracked you open to a deeper reality that most others will never touch.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Think about it. Had you been loved perfectly, had you been nurtured and understood, you might have stayed asleep, wrapped tightly in the warm blanket of validation, but you were denied that comfort. You were pushed into the wilderness, and in that wilderness you found something infinitely more valuable than external approval. You found the whisper of your own soul. You found the fire of your own spirit. You found the undeniable, irreplaceable truth that you are not defined by the ones who could not love you properly. Can you see the sacredness in that? Can you see how your suffering was not random cruelty, but a deliberate initiation? Every wound was a portal, every betrayal was a doorway. Every moment you felt invisible was a test asking you, will you define yourself by their blindness, or will you remember who you are? I know it hurts. I know the confusion runs deep. We ask ourselves, why would the universe, why would God allow me to be born into this? But the deeper question, the real question is, what soul strength did I possess that I could endure this and still choose love, still choose truth, still choose to rise? You are not a victim of your family, you are a graduate of it. And the diploma you earned is not written on paper, it is etched into your very being. It is the resilience in your bones, the compassion in your heart, the wisdom in your eyes. It is the unshakable knowing that you are sovereign, whole, and holy beyond anyone's ability to validate or reject you. Your toxic family was your boot camp for spiritual mastery. They taught you, through their failures, exactly what you came here to transcend. They showed you, through their limitations, the expansiveness that you are destined to embody. Every criticism they hurled at you, every manipulation they wove around you, was a mirror showing you the parts of yourself that needed to remember their own divinity. And here's the most radical truth of all. On a soul level, they agreed to play these painful roles for you. Yes, even the ones who hurt you the most. In the infinite compassion of the spirit world, they signed up to be the villains in your story so that you could become the hero. They agreed to wear the masks of fear, anger, and control so that you could remember your power, your freedom, your light? What if you could see them not as monsters, but as sacred actors? What if the greatest act of love was agreeing to hurt you, knowing that through that hurt you would awaken? I'm not saying you have to stay close to them. I'm not saying you have to excuse their actions or deny your pain. Boundaries are holy. Distance can be healing. But in your heart, you can shift the narrative. You can recognize that their inability to love you properly was never about your worth. It was about their own unhealed wounds, their own forgotten divinity, and you allow yourself to grieve what never was. The mother who could have nurtured, the father who could have protected, the siblings who could have stood beside you. Can you honor that grief without being imprisoned by it? Because once you do, a miracle happens. You begin to reclaim the parts of yourself that you once gave away in exchange for love that was never truly available. You are not broken because of your family. You are awakened because of them. You are not less than because they could not see you. You are more than because you chose to see yourself anyway. Every scar you carry is not a sign of defeat, but a testament to your endurance, your rebellion against the forces that tried to keep you small and silent. I want you to ask yourself something right now, with all the honesty you can summon. What if everything that happened to me was not happening to me, but for me? What if every painful interaction was a divine setup to push me closer to my true self? When you begin to see your life through this lens, everything changes. The bitterness starts to dissolve. The anger transforms into insight. The sorrow becomes fuel for your mission, and you realize that you are not here to repeat the patterns of your family. You are here to break them, to heal them, to transcend them. You are the alchemist. You are the curse breaker. You are the one your ancestors prayed for even when they didn't know your name. You are the living answer to generations of unhealed pain, and your very existence, your very choice to heal and to rise, is the revolution they never knew they needed. This is why you were chosen. The hidden fire inside you. How painful family dynamics forge unbreakable souls. When we begin to see the hidden architecture behind our pain, everything inside us starts to shift. We realize that the fire we were thrown into wasn't meant to destroy us. It was meant to forge us into something indestructible. Painful family dynamics, the betrayals, the abandonment, the manipulations, all of it was a training ground for the soul. You didn't come here to be coddled into greatness. You came here to be sculpted by the friction of life, by the sharp edges of human frailty, and it's through these very wounds that the light of your true self begins to pour through. Without the cuts, without the cracks, how could your soul's brilliance ever escape the walls of the false identity society tried to build around you? The ones who hurt you the most were the ones who signed up to challenge you in the deepest way. They mirrored back to you your deepest fears, your forgotten wounds, and your untapped strength. Every time you chose kindness in the face of cruelty, you were strengthening a muscle inside you that many never even realize they have. Every time you chose truth while others chose lies, you were sharpening your inner clarity. Every time you stood your ground in a storm of manipulation, you were anchoring yourself deeper into your own sovereignty. You didn't just survive your family, you transcended them. And in doing so, you carved a path not just for yourself, but for every soul that will come after you. Have you ever thought about what it means to be the first in your bloodline to awaken? It's not just a personal victory, it's a generational one. When you heal both backwards and forwards. You heal the wounds of those who came before you, those who didn't have the tools, the awareness, or the strength to break the cycles. And you heal the future, creating a new template for those who will come after. You are the bridge between the old world of pain and the new world of freedom. And that role is not given lightly. It is earned through fire and tears, and the relentless choice to love yourself even when those who raised you could not. You might ask, why me? Why did I have to carry this burden? But I invite you to ask an even deeper question. What did the universe see in me that it trusted me with this sacred, painful task? Because make no mistake, you were chosen because you have the soul strength to carry it. You have the soul wisdom to transmute suffering into power. You have the soul fire to withstand the storms that others could not. And your toxic family was simply the chiseling tool that shaped you into the masterpiece you were always meant to be. When you look back on the moments that almost broke you, can you also see the moments when you chose to rise? Can you see the times when you could have become bitter, but you chose to become better? That choice, repeated over and over again, is what builds an unbreakable soul. That choice is what separates the awakened from the asleep, the masters from the victims. Every moment you chose love, even when love was not offered to you, you were aligning yourself with the highest frequencies of this universe. Every moment you chose to be kind to yourself when your family was cruel, you were declaring your allegiance to your own divinity. And let's be honest, it's not easy. Healing from family wounds is some of the hardest work a soul can do. It's messy, it's painful, it's confusing, but it's also sacred. Every tear you shed, every boundary you set, every time you said no more to the cycles of abuse, you were rewriting the story of your lineage. You were becoming the living embodiment of a new way of being. And sometimes that means walking alone for a while. Sometimes that means being misunderstood, rejected, even demonized by the very people you loved the most. But solitude is not the enemy, it's the crucible where your true self is revealed. What if the isolation you feel is not a punishment, but a preparation? What if your loneliness is not a sign that something is wrong with you, but a confirmation that you are shedding old skins that no longer fit? The chosen ones are often lonely, because true transformation is a solitary path at first. But it doesn't stay that way forever. As you heal, as you rise, you begin to attract a new family, not necessarily one of blood, but one of spirit, a soul family. People who see you, honor you, and reflect back to you the truth you've always carried inside. You might not have been born into a family that could nurture your greatness, but you are destined to find one that will. And even more than that, you are destined to become the kind of person who nurtures greatness in others. Your wounds, once healed, become medicine. Your scars become maps for those still lost in the wilderness. Your story becomes a beacon of hope for those still trapped in the darkness of their own family pain. So I ask you, are you willing to see your pain not as a prison, but as a portal? Are you willing to bless your past, even as you outgrow it? Are you willing to step into the role you were born for, not as a victim of your family, but as the architect of a new legacy? Because you are not here to carry their pain any longer. You are here to transform it. You are not here to perpetuate their fears. You are here to embody love. You are not here to be a product of your environment. You are here to be the divine disruption, the sacred rebellion, the living proof that history does not have to repeat itself. This is the fire inside you. This is the hidden gift of your toxic family. And this is only the beginning. The sacred art of alchemy, turning family trauma into spiritual power. There is an ancient art that few truly master, yet every chosen one is invited to learn it. The sacred art of alchemy. And no, I'm not talking about turning lead into gold in the physical sense. I'm talking about the transmutation of something heavy, painful, and toxic into something radiant, powerful, and pure. When you begin to see your family trauma not as a life sentence but as raw material, you step into your true power. You realize that the heaviness you carry is not dead weight. It is potential energy waiting to be activated. It is the very fuel your soul needs to ignite into its highest expression. Alchemy begins the moment you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "How can I use this?" It's a subtle shift, but it changes everything. Instead of being trapped in endless loops of blame and resentment, you step into the role of creator. You recognize that while you cannot change the past, you can absolutely change the meaning you assign to it. And meaning is everything. Meaning determines whether your pain becomes your prison or your wing. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. Pain alone does not ennoble you. Suffering by itself does not make you wise. There are many who suffer and only become more bitter, more closed, more fearful. The difference between those who are broken by pain and those who are built by it is a single choice: the choice to alchemize, the choice to sit with the fire of your own hurt without running away, without numbing, without blaming others for eternity, the choice to ask, "What can this teach me? What strength is being forged in me through this?" True spiritual alchemy is not about bypassing the pain or pretending it didn't happen. It's about facing it so completely, so nakedly, that it loses its power to control you. It's about seeing your wounds not as signs that you are damaged, but as sacred tattoos of survival. It's about understanding that your scars are not ugly. They are beautiful inscriptions of your capacity to endure, to love, to continue. When we look at our toxic family through the eyes of an alchemist, we see that every moment of rejection taught us to find acceptance within ourselves. Every moment of betrayal taught us the value of loyalty to our own truth. Every moment of manipulation taught us to listen to the subtle voice of intuition that says, "Something isn't right here." And every moment of silence, when love should have spoken, taught us that we must first be our own voice before we can expect anyone else to hear us. You are not who you are today in spite of your family wounds. You are who you are because of them. They handed you the raw material. They handed you the chaos. They handed you the darkness, and you, magnificent soul that you are, took it and said, "Watch me turn this into light." But let's be clear, alchemy is not passive. It demands effort. It demands honesty. It demands that you stop waiting for an apology that may never come. It demands that you stop demanding validation from people who are incapable of giving it. It demands that you take your power back from every story that says you are a victim and instead write new stories. Stories where you are the hero, the healer, the master of your destiny. I want to ask you something deep right now. Are you willing to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve your freedom? Forgiveness is not about excusing what happened. It's about refusing to let what happened define you any longer. It's about cutting the energetic cords that keep you tied to the very pain you are trying to escape. Forgiveness is the final stage of alchemy. It is the moment when the lead is fully transformed into gold. Think of it this way. Your family may have planted seeds of fear, doubt, and shame within you, but you get to decide what grows. You can uproot those seeds. You can plant new ones. Seeds of unconditional love, radical acceptance, and infinite worthiness. You are the gardener of your soul. No one else gets that power unless you hand it to them. And yes, it takes time. It takes patience. It takes relentless tenderness toward yourself. Some days you will feel like you are moving backward. Some days the old wounds will ache as if they just happened. That's okay. Healing isn't linear. Alchemy is messy. It is a process of death and rebirth over and over again. But every time you choose to stay present with your pain, instead of abandoning yourself, you are performing a miracle. You are turning the heaviest parts of your being into the brightest parts of your soul. You are not here to be weighed down by your family legacy. You are here to rewrite it. You are here to show the world what it looks like when someone takes the worst they've been given and turns it into the best they have to offer. You are here to become the living proof that love is stronger than fear, that light is stronger than darkness, that a single awakened soul can heal entire bloodlines. This is the sacred art of alchemy, and you, chosen one, are already practicing it. Every time you choose to heal, every time you choose to love, every time you choose to rise. Your new legacy, becoming the light your family couldn't be. Channel book. There comes a moment on the path of the chosen one when you realize that your mission is far bigger than healing your own wounds. It is about building something new, something that has never existed before, not in your family line, not in your past, not even in your wildest dreams. You are here to become the light your family couldn't be. You are here to birth a new legacy, one rooted not in pain, fear, or control, but in love, freedom, and truth. This is not a small task. It is a revolution written in the quiet moments of your life, in the ways you choose to speak to yourself, in the ways you choose to love others, in the boundaries you set, and in the dreams you dare to pursue. You are not merely escaping your past. You are redefining what it means to belong, to love, to live. The patterns that ran unchecked for generations end with you because you have the courage to see them, to confront them, and to choose different. Becoming the light means being willing to hold compassion where there was once judgment. It means being the anchor of calm amidst the storms of dysfunction. It means being the one who says, "It stops here," not from a place of anger, but from a place of deep, unwavering love. For yourself, for those who came before you, and for those who will come after. Your healing is not selfish. It is the most generous gift you could ever give to the world. You might sometimes feel like you are carrying an invisible weight, like you are doing work that no one sees or appreciates. But make no mistake, the universe sees you. Every act of healing, every moment of choosing love over fear sends ripples through existence itself. You are not just changing your life, you are changing the energetic blueprint of your entire lineage. You are building a bridge over a river of pain so that others may cross more easily after you. Have you ever wondered why you feel things so deeply? Why you notice what others ignore? Why you carry a sense of purpose even when you can't fully explain it? It's because you are spiritually encoded with the blueprint for transformation. You are the living antidote to the poison that once ran through your family. You are the answer to prayers whispered long ago by ancestors who could not yet break free. But remember this: becoming the light does not mean becoming perfect. It does not mean you won't stumble or grieve or sometimes fall into old patterns. It means you keep moving forward anyway. It means you forgive yourself each time you fall and rise stronger each time. It means you understand that the light you offer is not the absence of darkness, but the decision to shine anyway. There will be days when the old voices echo in your mind, voices that tell you you're not enough, that you're selfish for setting boundaries, that you're dreaming too big. On those days, remember, those voices are echoes of a past you are no longer bound to. You have the right, the power, and the duty to silence them with the truth of who you are now. Ask yourself right now, what kind of ancestor do I want to be? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Not just for my bloodline, but for every soul I encounter. Because whether you have children or not, every life you touch, every heart you brighten, every soul you inspire becomes part of your legacy. You are planting seeds with every choice you make. When you choose forgiveness, you plant seeds of peace. When you choose truth, you plant seeds of liberation. When you choose love, even when it's hard, you plant seeds of miracles. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, someone will look at you and see the living proof that healing is possible. They will feel your presence and know without words that they too can rise, that they too can break their chains, that they too can become the light. This is your destiny. This is your power. This is your sacred task. You were never just surviving your family. You were becoming the hope they never knew how to hold. You were becoming the light they could not be. And now you are free